Red Cedar Market right across the street from Beautiful Bodies Boot Camp, here with chef and owner Artie, who's going to show us some of the healthiest dishes they offer here.
Today we're going to be making a great quinoa. It's always on hand. It's a superfood, really nutritious for you, and also some roasted sweet potatoes, which is a great accompaniment to any protein item, and the kids also really like it. Okay, so today we're going to be making a quinoa. The way we make it at the market, which is every day, considering we really can't keep it here because it sells so great. We take our quinoa with a little bit of mirepoix. We'll take our mirepoix and some olive oil. Just sweat out the mirepoix, which is onions, carrots, and celery. That's the basic standard mirepoix. You add the quinoa to it. The cooking ratio to liquid to quinoa is about 1 to 2. All right, 2 parts liquid, 1 part quinoa. And you could use water or vegetable stock. After it starts sweating out a little bit, you add your quinoa to it, and then you add your liquid. We add a little seasoning. You could add a fresh thyme leaf, or you could add a bay leaf if you'd like. Seal it with a little aluminum foil and simmer it for about 45 minutes. It's a very forgiving seed to cook with. It's not really a grain, but it does, it's very difficult to overcook. The only thing you could really do is burn it, so you don't want to do that.
Quinoa is awesome. It's one of the foods I always recommend to my clients at Beautiful Bodies. It's cooked like a whole grain, so like Artie was talking about, it's cooked similarly to rice, but it's actually a seed. So it's a superfood because it's one of the only plant foods that contains all 20 essential amino acids. So the dish that we're making today, you could have as your main dish, or you could even have it as a side dish.
Yep, and then what we also do to spice it up a little bit is we add a little bit of fresh cranberries to it. That just gives it a little kick, and I'll show you the finished product once we're done.
Another thing people don't necessarily know about quinoa is if you're in a rush, you can also cook it in the microwave the same way. So 2 parts water, 1 part quinoa. And if you're on the rush or you have to take it to work, it's really easy to make when you're getting ready to go.
So here we have the mirepoix sweating out. You don't really. This also is not necessary. You don't have to add mirepoix to it. We just do it, you know, to add the extra flavor to it. We're going to season this a little bit with salt and pepper. Okay, and once this starts, you could hear it, you can start seeing it. It starts getting a little translucent. The onions get a little opaque. You'll know it's time to add the quinoa to it. And then once the quinoa goes in, you just basically cook this just like you do regular rice. All right, you're going to start toasting it a little bit. All right, get a little bit of that nutty flavor out. And once that's done, we're going to add some. In this case, we're just going to add some water. You don't have to add veg stock or anything like that. Okay, that's 2 parts to 1. And once this comes up to a simmer, you could taste the liquid, just make sure that it has enough seasoning to your liking. Once that comes up to a simmer, you cover it with a little bit of aluminum foil or a pot top, and then let it simmer for about 45 minutes, and you got yourself a great meal. The next item that we're going to make is a real simple item. These are sweet potatoes. They're really cheap, and they're very good for you. They're nutritious. They have a natural sweetness to it. We love it in our family. The kids actually love it. It's a great alternative to French fries or anything else that's out there. And the way we make it is real simple. We just peel it, and then what we'll do is we'll quarter them. We'll toss them with a little bit of olive oil and fresh thyme, some salt and pepper, lay them out on the sheet tray, and then we'll roast them in the oven 45 minutes to an hour till they're nice and golden brown.
And so again, sweet potatoes are one of those things I always recommend at Beautiful Bodies because we stress unprocessed carbohydrates. And sweet potatoes is one of my favorites when it comes to that. It's also great, like Artie talked about, you can have it with your kids. So I get the question all the time, I like this, but my kids won't eat it. This is one of the dishes that you can have with your kids, and it's so easy to make, or you can just pick it up on your way home from boot camp.
So then after these are quartered, just put them in a bowl with some fresh thyme. Okay, we add a little salt and pepper to this. We use fresh ground pepper. And when you do something with fresh thyme or any kind of fresh herbs, it's always good to give it a little bit of a chop just to get the aromatics out. I mean, you could add the whole leaves to it, whether it's rosemary or thyme, but when you chop it, the oils start releasing and it really gives it, the food a better flavor. Okay, a little bit of olive oil here. Extra virgin is preferable. You don't really want to cook with extra virgin when it comes to a high heat because it does have a low smoke point, so it will burn quicker. But for roasting in the oven, it's ideal. And all we do is just lay this out on a sheet tray. Just make sure there's enough room between them so that they catch a lot of flavor, rather color and heat. And then we put it in our convection oven, 350 degrees, for about 45 minutes. If you don't have a convection oven, you could use a regular standard oven, just gonna add about 20 minutes more time and a little bit higher heat. Go about 375 so that when your finished product comes out, it's gonna look something like that. All right, they're nice and roasted, they're golden brown, and the flavor is really, really good.